Okay, now this will be the start of the pod.
I like that you did a hand wave of like the click thing.
And action. You're right. I did do that. I wasn't even thinking.
I learned, I don't know if you already know this, but they do that because then it makes a giant sound wave. So then they know, like, oh, this is where we started. So it's extra funny that you just did a hand wave version.
Oh, with no sound.
Yeah.
Well, you can see I didn't go to acting school or director school.
Went to homeschool drama.
Yeah, we went to the homeschool play and we didn't have things like that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I was just thinking about it, and we gave Gail so many flowers in
She
Ella
deserves them.
Enchanted. Well, now I don't know
Oh,
reading Fairest.
what?
What are you thinking about this book overall?
Um, I'm thinking I think I like Ella Enchanted more. I'm thinking I don't know. I mean, I just love this book so much from all the times I read it when I was younger that it's kind of hard to separate it from that.
Yeah.
I do think, and we've kind of talked this before off about this before off the pod, that it is very image focused and it's this uncomfortable thing where she says she's so ugly and we're like unreliable narrator. But this is literally everyone in the world. It's like, yeah, she's hideous. And that's a little strange. You're like, oh.
What did we say it was like? It was like the sound of music when all the nuns are singing, "How do you solve a problem like Maria?"
At her wedding.
At her wedding. She's walking down the aisle and they're just like, she's such a problem. How do we get rid of her? We'll send her off to be a mom to these 7 kids.
She'll love it.
Yeah, it is very like that because it's like everyone like looks in the mirror like, oh, I look so fat. And your friend says, oh, no, you look great. Da 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 da. In this book, she's like, oh, I look so fat. And they're like, yeah, you kind of look like an ogre.
I think what's also about it is that like when she's describing herself, it's like I kind of look like that. Like kind of she's like, I'm so pale and
Yes.
my lips are red and like so are mine. Like her features don't seem ugly.
It it's like how I'm imagining her is kind of, how like thighs have like cellulite.
Mm-hmm.
Imagining her face is very round and doughy like that with like cellulite on it. And it's kind of like
Mm.
modeled or like dimply like that. And
Okay.
then he has these like white skin, blood red lips. And it's like if she was in a Instagram filter, she would look gorgeous, but like she has all like the pieces, but they're just not working together.
Yeah, that makes more sense than what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
Well, this
Yeah.
isn't what I was thinking. So, okay, so when Candy was describing that, it reminded me of, I guess his name is the albino from The Princess Bride, whose skin is kind of mottled and really pale, and he has this crazy look in his eye. And like, yeah, I wouldn't really describe that as beautiful necessarily. In my mind, though, when it said doughy face, I was imagining like when you're like a little kid and you got like
A big
some,
round face.
yeah. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't know.
Okay. So I used the word mottled and I thought that meant like pitted. Mottled means it has smears of color.
Oh, okay. So like uneven complexion.
Yeah, and I guess like looking
Blotchy.
at these, yeah, I think maybe that was right,
Yeah, but I know what you're
but
saying
with like
about the
red.
pitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking more
Okay.
of like a pitted face,
Yeah.
maybe.
Is this what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of have like little holes or dimple indents kind
Y-
of thing.
Yeah. Like
It's like really tiny ones.
her skin texture's not good.
Yeah. That would make more sense than just baby fat. But you
I
know what?
don't
Maybe part
know.
of what Gail was doing was she didn't want to describe things like she had acne scars and stuff. Cause like probably kids reading that would be like, oh my gosh, I have acne scars. So by keeping it vague, where it's like, oh, she was pale and had red lips, where it's like, it's not, you know, ugly traits. It kind of makes it more, that probably makes it easier to read than her trying to make someone who's ugly and then accidentally describing, you know, real people.
I okay, so I think in terms of like Gail's mission of modernizing and like filling in logic gaps for Snow White, where it's all based on image, to not make the book all based on image would be like a tall order.
Yeah,
And I
that makes
see where
sense.
she's going with like, it's the beauty on the inside. Uh, But it's like she goes to the most vain, like Hunger Games-esque type of castle. And everyone's just like, she's hideous. And she like gets stuck indoors and like stuck
Oh
in
my
windows. And you're just like,
God.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It,
Okay, wait. Oh, no, you finish.
I was just gonna say, overall, it's like I'm getting a lot of like the ick.
I
Reddit, don't
I
come
could
for
see that.
me.
Reddit?
Yeah. Remember last time I said the ick?
Reddit
I
canceled
got,
us a long time ago.
yeah, I got lambasted. I got digitally accosted. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Paper Menagerie.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's when it all came out.
Yeah.
Is there a Gail Carson Levine Reddit?
I
They might
don't
like us
know.
there. She deserves all the things, even if we don't agree with all this book stuff. Okay,
That's
I don't
true.
know. There might be. We'll look into this. But okay, really quick, can we review the story of Snow White? Because honestly, I don't know if I really remember. Like, what was the plot? There was a witch who wanted to be the fairest one of them all. And then was Snow White actually the fairest one of them all? Is that what it was?
Okay, so this is Disney Snow White, what put Walt on the map,
All
not
right.
Brothers Grimm,
Creepy.
creepy. Like, I mean, his Walt's Disney Snow White was a little creepy too, but this is not like the true to form. Whatever. Okay, you get what I mean. That story, how it went is that you had the queen, and she was beautiful, and her stepdaughter was Snow White. And as Snow White came of age and hit puberty, every day the witch would go to her magic mirror and say, "Who's the fairest of them all?" And he would say, "It's you, witch, it's you." And then one day, Snow White hit the threshold of more beautiful than the queen. And so then the mirror said, "Snow White's the most beautiful of them all." So then the witch was like, "I know an easy solution. I'll just kill her."
Brilliant, really.
Yes. So then she sends her huntsman to go kill Snow White, but the huntsman goes and he feels so bad because she's so beautiful. Like, how can you possibly kill her? So he helps her escape into the forest, and he provides the heart of a pig to the witch. And he says, "Look, here's her heart. I have it in a box, just like you
What?
wanted." Yeah, that's what the witch wanted. She's like, "I need to
Weird.
see proof." She need receipts. This
Wow,
isn't
I don't
starter
remember that.
villain. This isn't starter villain where they just need to look and see. No, DNA. She needed receipts. So he brings the heart in the box, and then she's like, "Good." Then the next day she asks the mirror, "Who's the fairest one of them all?" And the mirror trolled her and was like, "It's Snow White." And she's like, "What?" So So then on and on and on it goes. And then eventually, like she goes after Snow White. She gets her the apple,
Yeah.
which is poisoned. And so instead of killing her, just puts her in a coma. And then the dwarves feel really bad and they put her in this glass coffin in the forest with a bunch of flowers. And a prince is just like walking around and he sees her and he's like, I'm gonna kiss her. And he
It is kind of
kisses,
strange.
yeah, he kisses this comatose corpse princess. He just can't resist a magnet. And then she wakes up, and then the witch is just furious again, and somehow she dies. And that's the story.
Wow, what a tale. I I remember bits and pieces of that.
So, I
I did
mean,
not
Gail
remember the
had
pig.
she had a tall order trying to make that not weird.
Yeah. So now make this empowering for young girls. First though, have you ever seen this picture?
Oh my God. Snow White without her makeup on?
Snow White without, well, yeah,
No.
yeah, you're right, without her makeup on. I thought it was just without eyebrows, but yeah, it's without all of her makeup.
Oh my God.
And that's all I could really think about.
Ariel still looks good.
Because she still has eyelashes. I think when you lose the eyelashes on these animated characters, it looks
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so that was Gail's starting material, and then she had to make it a good tale with good moral lessons. Yeah. I I don't know. I think it could be a pretty good take
I
because
think
she
she
made
did.
it someone who wasn't beautiful, and that was always the trials. Like, oh, I'm not beautiful, but spoiler alert, in the end, she is like, actually, it needs to start with me. I think I'm beautiful. And she,
Yeah.
becomes confident. So, like,
And everyone grows to tolerate her. I think that's the end of the book. I can't remember. I can't remember because I haven't read the whole thing yet again. But I think the end is that, and she became beautiful in her own way, is like, I think that's like the conclusion.
I kind of forget too. I think it is something along those lines. But you know
Maybe
what?
she's like, okay, time out. Maybe she's like Kim Kardashian. Hear me out. Because Kim came on the scene and everyone's like, ew, big butts, and J-Lo, but definitely Kim. And they're like, ew, big butts. Like, no, you don't want a big butt. You want small. And then Kim came in and she's like, I'm gonna show you what's up. And now everybody wants a big butt.
You know? Yeah, could be. Is Oz setting all the trends now?
Yeah, now she sets all the trends. Maybe this is a book about Kim K.
Zaw became Kim K, and they all lived happily ever after.
Oh my God. And they started selling lip kits, and Kingdom was never more prosperous.
Yeah, we need a sequel.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I feel like given the material, Gail did the best she could. I kind of wish she would have picked The Little Mermaid. I wish she would have picked like a different fairy tale.
I mean, well, okay, what would you, let's say her publisher's like, you have to do a Snow White. And she's like, okay, I'll do it. What would you have changed about this current setup of
I think
Fairest?
I would have changed that other people think she's hideous too.
Hmm.
I would have rather it just been a girl with low self-esteem who finds her confidence in the end.
Yeah, but then I don't know if the like big, twist at the end would really make sense. Because you remember, I don't know how far you've read.
Chapter 19.
Okay. Maybe we can bookmark this. I don't know. I think it's important though that she, at least from what we can tell, is not she doesn't meet the current beauty standards
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it, and then because I have my notes.
Mm, okay. Excellent. All right, yeah, we can if you would like an author recap, go listen to the first 20 minutes of Ella Enchanted, part 1.
Yes, part one. Yes. Do we want to do any bookalytics?
Oh, we could. Do you want to?
Well, we just hit 190 followers.
Wow.
Yep. We got
Exciting.
two new 5-star reviews. Thank you. Thank you.
Woohoo.
Yep.
Our mom and our
So
dad.
they've already, okay, number one, they don't listen. Number two, they don't know how to rate. Or did
Mom
you
listens.
did you actually get on their phones and rate? Are you the
No,
two?
I need to. No, I need to. No, I'm not.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I've
Yeah,
been
you
meaning
need
to
to.
rate ourselves on other
Yep.
people's devices.
Oh my God. It's all about strategy. But yeah, so two new five-star reviews. So thank you to anyone who did that. And if you haven't, now is a great time to do so. You just click the little dots on Spotify and then you just give us 5 stars.
Woohoo.
Hmm. Anything you want to plug, Chrissy?
Um,
Oh, the
I don't know.
Housemaid Spotify playlist. Did we talk about that last time?
Oh, yeah.
It
No,
has
we didn't.
1,100 subscribers.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay. So we were like that's crazy. We're like, why is our housemaid episodes blowing up so much? And so I did some digging while because I've been unemployed. And on Spotify, it says like, where are you getting most of your impressions from? And we're getting a very large majority of our impressions from Spotify searches. And I was like, well, they must be searching something housemaid related. So I searched for the housemaid on Spotify, and this playlist came up, and it said housemaid audiobook, and it was from Bookalicious Pod. I said, what? And someone had put all of our housemaid episodes into a playlist. And it has like, yeah, 11,000 followers, which is
11,
crazy.
11,000 is very different from 1,100.
Oh, I thought you said 11,000.
It has
Okay.
1,123.
Oh, okay. Okay. I honestly still a lot.
That's a lot.
Wow. Wow, crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because you can really see the influence of this playlist because our housemaid episodes, it goes in order from 1 to 4 or whatever, however many episodes there are of most listens to least listens. So number 1 has the most and then it goes down. Except for 3B is for some reason the least popular one. It goes straight from 3A to then 4A, 4B. And I said, what? What happened? It's because on the playlist, 3B is at the end. So I don't know what this means. Do people just keep listening through the playlist and they get to 3B and they're like, I already know what happens at the end. So then they leave?
Oh
I
no,
don't
we need to
know.
call Lima. That's who put it together and say, girly girl, help a sister out.
Reorganize, please. Yeah, I don't really know. Are people just playing it and then it auto plays and then they're not
Well, that's
actually
what,
listening? I'm not sure.
well, you know what? We'll take a listen, even if you're not really listening. Um, mm, yeah, that is confusing.
Right? Okay, it's also what else is crazy about this is that the person who posted it, it's not like she's, a Spotify influencer or something. Like she has all these playlists that everybody follows. Like this is the only one. Like I don't know, but I really appreciate her false advertising with the housemaid audiobook because
Yeah,
I'm sure we get a lot more listens because people think they're getting the free audiobook.
well, because there isn't an audiobook for Housemaid. So they're
We
probably
are
like, oh my
it.
God. They're like, oh my God, here it is. And then we start talking and they're like, this is a strange book.
They're like, these girls go so in depth, it's like the audiobook.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my
my
gosh.
gosh. Wow. So
Yeah. So
yeah,
I've
thanks,
been,
Lima.
yeah, Lima, great idea, good strategy. I've been making all of our books into playlists now.
Oh, you have? Thanks. I know
Yeah.
I said I think I was supposed to do that.
It's really not hard to do. It's really easy. But not as much traction there. So we'll see what happens.
Wow. Fascinating.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll try some other experiments in the Bookalytics world and we'll see what works.
Yeah.
Kind of
We'll
fun.
be doing some scientific experiments here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is the research we need.
Yes. All right. Well, it's been 30 minutes. Are we ready?
Yep, I guess that's our cue now.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy,
And I'm Candace.
and today we're talking about potentially our second favorite childhood book. I don't know. It might be, we'll see at the end if it still holds its ranking. But we're reading Fairest by Gail Carson Levine, our favorite
Yes.
lady.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going up till chapter 18 or 19 today, and I have it sectioned into three different segments. So,
Okay.
are you ready for summary of part one?
Yes.
All right, so this is chapters 1 through 4. And so in the beginning, we meet Azah, who is a young girl who is adopted by innkeepers in the town of Ayortha, which is a city where everyone is singers. What?
Yes. You call her Azah, like Huzzah.
Yeah.
It's not Ava.
I've always read it as Azah. I never thought to pronounce it Aza. We're gonna
You're
have
saying it like
issues.
you're saying it like huzzah, huzzah.
Wouldn't you want to be like that? It's like, how do we get it to happen? On the new Zoom setting where balloons just appear when you do a certain hand
Oh
symbol.
my God.
Now it's like your name is
All right.
confetti. Huzzah!
All right, let's see what Google says. Okay. You might be right.
What did Google say?
Well, it won't do it for me. But the Wikipedia, I don't know how to read the pronunciation things. Honestly, it's really
Oh,
not.
yeah, I don't. Za. I don't know. That written out pronunciation looks like za.
How would you say Ava? AVA. Ava?
Ava. Simple as that. Yeah, I never would have thought of that for Ava. Oh, I guess that does make sense. Okay, well, here is a YouTube video that's supposed to pronounce it for us.
All right. Are you right?
It's not either of what it's not what either of us said.
Is it
Azah.
Aze? What is it?
What he's saying?
Yeah, Aza.
Oh, can you not hear?
No.
Oh. No, he's saying, let me hear it. He's saying Aza.
Aza.
Actually I could see Aza.
I could see Aza. Okay, so for context, I didn't know this, but this is a male name in Persia. It's like a historically Persian name.
What does it mean? Doesn't
There was
say.
a couple kings that were named this. So I wasn't I feel like a little bad for laughing, but to me as an English speaker, I think Ava, and then if I slip in another word letter, I'm gonna do Aza.
That's logical when you explain it like that. That thought never crossed my mind though.
All right. All right. Well, now that we're 40 minutes in, look,
Let's review chapter 1.
let's read
I need to
chapter.
finish my summary.
Yeah, finish your summary. We'll keep calling her Azah because why not? That's the new
You
truth.
can call you can call her Aza if you want.
No,
I just don't know
I'm
if I'll be able
converting.
to.
I'm converting.
Wow, that's pretty big. 20 years in to reading this book.
Oh my God.
Okay, back to chapter 1.
Oh.
Azah is a young girl who was adopted by innkeepers in the town of Ayortha, which is a city of singers. Azah is self-described ugly, and in case you thought it was an unreliable narrator like we did, it is not, because everyone else in the whole world agrees that she's an eyesore. So, despite lacking good looks, Azah has an incredible voice, which is deeply admired, since again, everyone in Ayortha are singers. Azah discovers a new singing skill that she calls aloosing, which means she can make her voice sound like it's coming from anywhere. And though her family are all wonderful singers, none of them can aloose. So, pretty cool. While Azah works in the inn, she meets many different characters, such as gnomes who can see the future, and the Duchess. Azah stumbles on some luck, or some unluck, when the Duchess's lady-in-waiting falls ill on their way to the royal wedding, and so the Duchess asks Azah to be her new lady-in-waiting and go to the wedding with her. Azah is nervous, but also super excited to see the wedding of King Ascaro to Ivy, who is a mysterious woman from the town of Curia. Shout out to Ella Enchanted. Got a crossover.
Hey. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Chapters 1 through 4.
Okay. So, couple of notes. One of them I thought was crazy is that Azah, in trying to make herself less ugly, she went into the shed and she got wood stain and put it on her face and her arms like Tanner. Have you ever smelled stain, like wood stain before?
No.
It is so potent. I was like, I wasn't doing wood stain, but I was painting with like an oil-based primer in a in our pantry, so like a closed area, and I almost died because the chemicals were like so intense and there wasn't like proper ventilation. And
Oh my gosh.
I feel like the same thing would happen if I got wood stain and I was pouring it on my body in like an enclosed shed.
Oh my gosh. Azaz's just a poor, desperate innkeeper's daughter. She's willing to try anything.
Well, and they
To
talk.
be fair,
Go for it.
to be fair, they probably also, I'm sure it's different wood stain. I don't think this is, 21st century Aortha.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I was gonna say, Azah makes a comment later on how Arita gets to go to finishing school, and they're like, why would they spend money on the ugly daughter? And I was like, I mean, fair.
You poured wood stain on
You
yourself.
you poured wood stain on yourself. Like you really don't have a lot going for you. They make her seem like not very smart. She's not confident. She has a lot of self-loathing. I'm kind of like, she's like a pretty voice, but that kind of seems to be the only thing going for her.
That's interesting because I actually was reading this and I was like, Azah seems a lot more mature than Ella does. Where it's like
Yes.
Azah knows how to handle herself. She knows how to talk to other people. Like she has a good idea of like what to do. I don't know. Like I think she has a maturity that Ella doesn't have.
I would say that's fair. I would say that's fair. Maybe that's why I feel like she's kind of like boring.
Mm.
Whereas Ella
She does.
is a spitfire.
Yeah. Yeah. I was kind of feeling that too. Yeah. Ella's really spunky. There's a lot of humor. I didn't, I don't know if I ever really laughed during Fairest. Maybe I did.
Most of my laugh is just
Can't
like,
remember.
oh my God, how sad. Where it's just like cringe laughing.
I know. Yeah. So it's definitely a really different kind of book. But I don't know. I like Azah. I think I don't know. Like I like her interactions with her sister. She really loves her family. And like she goes through a lot of hard things because literally everyone in the world thinks she's horrendous. But like she still wakes up every day. She still faces all of them. I don't know. I like her. Not a fan.
No, I think I'm a fan. Like I do think she has to overcome like a lot of things, but it's just kind of like a really sad, drab life. It's kind of like I feel like we dropped in on the Book of Ella Enchanted where she's already the servant girl, and you're like, wow, your life sucks. And that's the whole book until until like the end.
Until the epilogue.
Yeah, until the epilogue. I'm like, so it just has a different feel to it.
That's a great point. It is kind of like that.
Like
Huh. Yeah.
I put a comment. So Arita's bedtime was 10. She said, while I was up until midnight and later washing dishes, while mother and father and my brother cleaned the tavern and prepared for the next day. And I was like, these people are like slaves because they have to get up at like 6 a.m. and they work until midnight or later.
Yeah. That's why Ella stayed at Dame Olga's house. She's like, my other option is the inn, where it's even worse. Yeah, they're just poor little country folk.
Yeah, she's like, I'm better off being with Hattie and being in the cellar. I also, so something like I resonated with a lot with Azah is everyone being like, well, you're not, you know, you have a beautiful voice, which to me you could replace with, you have a nice personality. And I feel like
Mm.
I got that a
Hmm.
lot growing up. And I would just be like,
Really?
yes. I was in a church circle once and they said, you know what, Candace, what makes you beautiful is your personality. And I wanted to be like, oh my God, love, thank
Rude.
you.
You're like, well, I have both looks and personality.
Yeah,
Beautiful
no.
no matter which way you look at it.
Well, because I think there's a lot of people that say that. They're like, oh, well, she has a beautiful personality, you know? And I feel like that's the same
Hmm.
thing with Azah and her voice.
Mm, interesting. Yeah, I wonder if part of why we're like this aversion to Azad describing herself as ugly is because I feel like it's just more and more, or like, let's see. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we're comfortable with saying someone is ugly. Like, I don't want to call someone ugly because it's like you can be beautiful in all sorts of ways,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't know. And maybe that's kind of a change where it's like 20 years ago, it's like, well, no, we had a standard of what was beautiful and, or something. Like, I wonder if that's also a change that we're kind of seeing as we're reading this again.
I think that's definitely true. Like I said, I've been on my Reba journey and I
Oh,
finished it.
yeah.
Yeah. But it did kind of like it did give me a lot of memories of like that time period, early 2000s. And it really was kind of like if you didn't look exactly like this, then you were ugly.
Yeah. And you're like, oh,
And very few people would fit that mold. So like we started this with like Kimmy K. Like she didn't fit the mold and she turned people to be like that mold is no good. Kimmy K knows where it's at, you know? So it's like good for her. But what are they saying with it? But yeah, I think now it's like in order for me to consider someone like pretty, I feel like as long as you're just like clean, have a little bit of style, like you're good to go. I don't feel like the
yeah,
standards are like you have to be this body shape or this color or this whatever.
right. And I wonder how much of that is like the circles we're in. are saying that, and like that's kind of what we personally think. Like maybe there is still some, I don't know, criteria or whatever, but I don't know. It kind of seems like even like celebrities and stuff, it's like more and more celebrities who people say are beautiful look more and more different,
Yes. I
you know?
mean, not to say that there's not like beauty standards and you still don't have like that you're hot or not type of thing. But I do think it's
Yeah.
much less binary than it used to be. There's a little bit more wiggle room, and I think there's more appreciation for people of all different, all different types, you know?
Yeah. I kind of think so. I don't know. So yeah, so maybe are we seeing Fairest not aging well? Is that what we're seeing?
I remember feeling like this reading it, feeling like, I mean, I felt very similar to Azah, like the
Mm-hmm.
self-loathing, all of that. And so, I mean, in that sense, Gail did a great job capturing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I felt similar to Azad too. Because I'm like, I'm also really pale and
Yeah.
my lips are really red and like all those things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still think Gail was speaking to us. She knew what we needed to hear.
Did I need to hear this though? That people really did think she was ugly?
No, I guess I'm talking more about the message at the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Is that it needs to start with like, I like the way I look,
Yeah.
you know? Because yeah, and we'll get there when we get to the end.
Yeah.
But
Okay. That's all I had for that first part.
yeah, I think that's all I have too.
Okay.
Yeah, nice loving family.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Gail does a good job of painting like this really warm family atmosphere, even though the outside world is like so cruel to us all.
Yes.
And I think that kind of sets up the next part pretty well.
Yes. The family dynamic is
So
really, really nice. It's very sweet.
yeah, it is. We love them. All right, time to rip Azah out from her nice, loving family.
Oh my
Throw
God.
her into the palace. All right, so chapters 5 through 12. Azah goes to the royal wedding, and Queen Ivy has a sore throat and she can't sing on her wedding day, which is a big deal because that's a bad omen for marriages in Eortha. After the wedding, Azah and the Duchess hang out at the castle because I guess that's what all the wedding guests do. They just loiter for weeks.
Yeah.
But anyways, while she's there, Azah plays a singing game with none other than the heartthrob Prince Ajori. Okay, how do you pronounce his name?
A joy.
Oh, okay. Not Ivory.
No.
Like Ivory.
No.
Ivy and Ivory.
Yeah. Oh my
Okay, Prince
God.
Ajori. And Prince Ajori is super kind to Azah, and they hit it off from the start. But Azah is self-conscious because she's ugly and because she's not actually a lady, even though everyone assumes that she is. They do really well in the singing game. And after this big win, Azah starts elusing in the palace garden and is found by none other than Queen Ivy. Queen Ivy wants Azah to be her lady in waiting, and Azah accepts because she could then support her family back home with her new palace job.
Mm-hmm.
After Queen Ivy leaves Azah trapped in a window, King Oscaro, crazy. Do you say Oscaro or
Oscaro.
Oscaro?
Like
Okay, that's how
Oscar.
I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. King Oscaro accidentally gets hit in the head by a flying horseshoe and is down for the count, which means that Ivy is now the ruler of this town that she moved into yesterday. Ivy really doesn't get Ayorthians and she wants to cancel their healing sing that they want to have for King Oscaro, but Azah and Ajori convince her otherwise. Ivy then asks Azah in private for Azah to eluce for Ivy a beautiful singing voice, meaning that everyone would think Ivy has a beautiful voice when she doesn't. Azah kind of thinks this is treasonous, but then Ivy threatens to close down her family's inn and imprison Azah if she doesn't, so Azah finds it in herself to eluce for Ivy. The end.
Wow.
A lot happens.
That takes us to what chapter?
Chapter 12.
Okay. So, number one, you didn't mention this. Do you remember the age gap between Queen Ivy and the king?
Oh, I don't remember. It's like 20 years or something.
She's 19 years old.
Does it say how old he is?
He's not 20 and he's not 30.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like
okay, being
50.
is he actually because Ajori isn't his son, it's his nephew. Because Ajori is, I think, like 20 or something, or 16, something in that age range.
Let me see.
So I don't know if we know how old. I mean, in my mind, he was like 50. And
She was
that's a little strange.
19 and the king was 41.
Oh. Yeah, why did Gail choose that? I guess that's 22 years.
This whole thing, I think I also got like irritated because I'm like, this freaking king goes out to Podunk Town, Little Bast, where they have orange carriages and nobody can fact check that because nobody cares about Bast. He finds this little country girl who's 19 years old. He brings her back to his castle. He makes her the queen. And then he doesn't even put a contingency plan of what would happen to the kingdom if something happened to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what? She's had
My big
zero royal training.
They were still on their honeymoon. He didn't have time to plan that.
You plan it before you get married.
My biggest qualm is that Ivy isn't very nice at any point in the book.
Oh,
She's she was pretty, and then we find out later she became even more beautiful. So that's what made me feel a little weird, where it's like, is it only because she's pretty?
100%. 42-year-old
Ugh.
men don't want to date a 19-year-old because they're so deep and have such like great conversations. Like,
Okay.
could
Do you
okay,
think
could you imagine? I know you're married and stuff, but could you imagine dating someone right out of high school? What would you
that'd
talk
be weird?
about?
How was cafeteria lunch today?
Like I just think about, and that's not even a full decade of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Sometimes there can be exceptions.
They're
Like it could
okay.
work. It's
It,
not always terrible idea.
but
It generally is difficult though.
okay, it's generally difficult. I'm not going to put a blanket statement and say always, but I would say a lot of the times, and especially if, like, to your point, she has a bad personality.
Right. I don't know.
Like, why does she have to be so young, Gail?
I don't really know. Okay, we need to definitely add that to our questions for the author. Why is she so young? Does that kind of explain some of her immaturity? Where it's like maybe as she gets older, she's going to, you know, kind of be a little wiser. Maybe that's part of what she was going for. Yeah, why do you think Gail made her so young?
I think she wanted to make her like a foil to Azah. So, like, there's because they're almost the same age.
Right. Yeah, so then they could I mean, why not just make Ascaro younger? I mean, would 35 be much different from 41?
No, he'd have to be 25 for me to be like, okay, fine.
I think then we'd be like, who's been running this kingdom?
Right. I don't get why she just can't be older. I don't think that takes away. You can still be vapid and vain at the age of 40 or 35. If she was 30, even, I could see that better. I could see it like if she was like 30 or something, like, okay, she's a little bit more grown.
That's like old maid. I guess
In
I don't
this
know,
town, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. That is very curious. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that one. I because they could have even because I was thinking like they could even it could have even been like she looked like she was in the, peak of her youth at 19, but really it comes out later. She's old maid at 28 or something.
Yeah.
31. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think the most likely reason she made Ivy so young is so that she could be a foil for Azah, and it could maybe kind of explain why Ivy might have wanted Azad to be her lady in waiting. It's like, oh, I have a friend now.
Yeah.
Someone similar to me, like also an outsider, also my same age.
Well, he was supposed to marry Lady Arona. And Lady
Right.
Arona to me seemed like she was more in her 30s. I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
You know why we think he's so old? Ivy's smile faded. She smoothed a stray lock of gray hair behind the king's ear.
Right. I thought he had gray hair.
It sounds like an old troll.
Yeah. Okay. My other thought I had was, is this whole setup part of it to show that looks aren't enough? Because you have Queen Ivy and she's beautiful, but she runs the kingdom to the ground in a week.
Yeah, she also gets to marry the king.
I know that's the other thing where it's like the king is a good character. It's not like he's conceited. He's very kind, actually. He seems very selfless in a lot of from the few lines that we get from him.
It
But
it's
he does seem to
weird.
like her for her looks. I don't know. Yeah,
We'll
I don't super get it.
we'll sit on it.
Yeah. I think those are great questions. We need to remember that one.
Yeah. I think that was my big thing here. Oh, and the other thing that you didn't mention is that Azah is forced to wear the Duchess's lady in waiting's
Oh
clothes. So
yeah.
she's dressed like a five-tier cape with with like all these decorations and stuff. Like in one of them, she has like a full like nest of birds on her hat.
Oh my gosh, that was awful. Yeah, so she just has to go around in this embarrassing clown outfit
Ugh.
all over the palace. Yeah, poor Za. I think there's points when I was reading this when I was like, oh my gosh, I am so embarrassed for you. It was hard to read.
Ugh, I know. I know. I think
Gosh.
I think I caught a continuity error because earlier in the book it mentions
Oh,
that Azah hates apples because she's
right.
Snow White. And when she goes to the kitchen to get food, she gets a muffin. Oh, never mind. Just kidding.
Does it say she passes over the apple or something?
She gets a an apple and a muffin and she eats the muffin and then she puts the apple in her pocket to toss away later. I missed that.
Mm.
Gail got
Gail
me.
doesn't miss anything.
She doesn't. What did you think about Prince Ajori? Do you feel like he seems like sincerely into Azah?
I remember reading this when I was younger and loving Prince of Jory, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so incredible, he's so sweet. But this time I was like, oh, what happened? Like, so is it no, it's in the next part. But anyways, he finds out that she's not actually a lady, and he's kind of hurt by it. And I was like, oh, why do you care? She's
Yeah.
still the same as Ah. Yeah, so I don't know. But there's parts of their relationship where I'm like, oh, that's sweet. They get to play the game together. It kind of has similar friendship vibes that Ella and Char had in Ella Enchanted. That just felt natural and fun. But I don't know. I think it's also tough though because Azaz is just kind of lying the whole time because she's not a lady. And
Yeah.
then later when she's a loosing for the queen, it's like she has to cover all that up. And so I think it is just hard to root for their relationship because you're like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
all built on lies.
Yeah. And I don't know. Jory just feels like very hot and cold with her.
Yeah, I kind of feel that too.
Like I kind of feel
In
like he's not really that into her.
It felt like so later in the book when like their relationship escalates a little bit, it kind of felt like that came out of nowhere. Where I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like yeah, it did seem to go from like 0 to 100 all in one page. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So, but I don't know. Maybe this also though is part of why Azaz seems more mature, and maybe Ajori is more mature than like Ella and Char, where it's like they're carrying themselves like they're in a palace and very like, courtly and stuff. And I think that could be read as cold, but it's also like that's just how you act in the palace. So it's not actually cold. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I kind of felt the same thing.
Just to give and I agree. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but just to give like a flavor of what people are saying about Azah. Such a voice. It's unfortunate Lady Azah's mother was a hippopotamus.
Oh my gosh. What? I know. It's things like that where you're like, I can't, she's not an unreliable narrator, I guess. Oh my gosh. There's another one that I just read where it says, I blushed and my cheeks were the color of raw meat. Where it's just like
Ugh.
all these descriptive words are like, ugh.
So I think it's hard because it's like people are definitely very cruel to Azah, but it's like her inner dialogue is so mean.
Yeah,
And I think that part is
that's true.
very relatable because I do feel like when it comes to like appearance, especially for women, it's like it's our own inner dialogue that is just the most cruel. But some of
Yeah.
these people,
And I think that's kind of why I like that she's apparently objectively ugly
yeah,
because it's like you need to be even if no one else thinks you're pretty, you still need to start with yourself and think that you're pretty, you know?
yeah,
Because if it was the type of thing where it's like everyone else is like, "Oh, she's so beautiful, but she's just hiding her face all the time." I don't know. I feel like it's lower stakes to view yourself as pretty then.
yes, which is true. And I would probably be annoyed too if she was like secretly gorgeous. She's like, I'm so ugly. Like, ew, nobody likes
Right.
me. And then they're like, you're actually the prettiest person in the whole world. And you're like,
Yeah.
ugh. So I would be annoyed about that too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I wanted Gail to do with this.
I kind of think this is the best option. We're just struggling with someone being so ugly to everybody in the whole world.
And people just saying it constantly.
Yeah.
Azah stuck in the window
Oh my gosh.
made me think of Pooh Bear stuck in rabbits in the rabbit hole, and he got turned into like a buffet table.
I forgot about
I
that.
just sent it to you.
Oh, you did? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's what I think.
Oh my gosh. They drew a face on his butt and put antlers. I totally forgot. Pooh is hilarious. It's such a great movie. All of them.
Pooh Bear is hilarious. But I was just like when she like stuck in the window, I'm like, oh my God.
That was one of the scenes where I read it and I was like viscerally embarrassed for her. And I was like, oh my gosh, because she's leading Queen Ivy around and Queen Ivy is like, show me to the outdoors since you're my new lady in waiting. And Azal's like, okay. And Azal finds this window and she's like, oh, this is the only way out. And Ivy looked confused, and Azal was like, I'll show her. I'm resourceful. And so she starts climbing out this window, gets stuck, and then Ivy pulls aside the curtain like 12 inches to the left, and there's a door. And then Ivy walks out and it's like, oh, I'll get you help.
And she doesn't come
And she
back.
never comes.
That's what I'm
Oh my
saying.
gosh.
Azad does not, she's not presenting very smart.
Yeah, but have you ever been in that situation where you did something and you're like, oh yeah, this is a good way to do it. And then like 30 seconds later, you look to the side and you're like, that was stupid.
Of course, I've done that 100%.
I've done it too.
I would hope, though, that before I go to a place in this circumstance, I would hope that before I go to a place of crawling out a window, I would like look for a door, you know?
But she's country bumpkin innkeeper girl. She's used to climbing out of windows and being a little ragamuffin-y.
Oh my God. I mean, that's true. That's true. There was, again, with the inner dialogue, she's like, I wanted to scream with frustration, but then the whole castle would know. I'd be the ugly ox who'd gotten herself stuck in a window with a door inches away. Then later on, I had to laugh. If I missed a few meals, I'd be able to get out. And I was like, girl, I hate this. It's because you're in your clown outfit. It's not because, like,
Oh my gosh.
it's not because you're fat. And it's also like, it, how they describe her is that she's not fat, is that she's just very large. And it's like, if you're just very large, that's just what you are. You're tall, you're wide. That's it. But she's like making it sound like if she could starve herself into being tiny, but it's like you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your point? Like she's
Like
has
she
unrealistic.
I feel like Gail's putting in like kind of like this fat level of like, oh, if I missed a few meals, I could get out. But it's like, could you? You'd probably be like similar size. I don't know.
Yeah. I think so too. I kind of imagine, I don't know, potentially like people based off what people have said about Azal, maybe they said kind of things like that. And she's like, oh, well, maybe
I guess that's
maybe that's what
true.
would help me out of this situation now, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I've always struggled with my weight. And so that I think that is like extra sensitive to me. And like you said, with
Yeah.
like your skin, like you maybe you've been more sensitive about that than other things. So that's what sticks out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Gail got all the possible sensitive things that you could be sensitive about. She put them all in a zaw.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Okay, I had
Yeah.
a question. What is a brazier?
Ooh, can you say what's the sentence?
The cook. Frying pan placed her frying pan atop the brazier. Brazier.
I'm guessing, is it kind of like a cooking top?
Well, I thought it was a bra, and I was like, what is this?
I think that isn't like brasier or something like that, but I think you're right.
Oh no, it's a barbecue.
I appreciate I said barbecue because I read the definition and it said a portable heater consisting of a pan or stand for holding lighted coals. I said, "Oh, how medieval!" Then you said barbecue. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what that is." Okay, no, but if you spell brazier with two S's and
Yep,
an IER, then
a bra.
you get a lot of things. Oh, if you had an E on the end, then it's a bra. If you take off the E, then it means insolent or brazen, flashy, showy.
Oh,
It's a confusing word.
I'm gonna stay away from it. But I was,
It's not safe to use.
and when I was reading that, I was like, is she putting like her chest on fire? Like, what is happening? But that makes sense. It's just like this is Uh,
You gotta do some crazy things to be attractive in this world.
oh my God.
I always did that with the word sconce, which is like the little
We
candle on the
talked about that
wall.
last time. You thought they were
Yes.
scones.
I thought they were biscuits. I just went with it.
Okay,
Oh my
I
goodness.
had a theory.
Ooh, what is it?
I think Queen Ivy is actually Olive.
What happened? Did she like sell her soul or something?
Olive at the end of the book, she married some rich man who all he wanted to do was like give her things and dote on her. And all Ivy says when King Oscuro is ill, she's like, "When will he speak to me? When will he tell me he loves me?" All she wants is
Whoa. Whoa. This is a good theory. So what happened to Olive?
she drank the potion and now she's Ivy.
But she, at the end, when she reverts, she doesn't look like Olive.
That's true.
So I kind of like that theory though. I think it could go places.
Yeah. So I'm just reading this as
Wow.
she's actually Olive.
There are a lot of similarities.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ivy just keeps getting worse and worse with
She,
each chapter. Oh, there's one thing. I don't know if it's come up yet in the part that you've read. Maybe it has, but it always says that Queen Ivy licks her lips and then she like
yes.
says something. Do you remember reading anything else about like what that means?
Yes, that she's lying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which I think that actually comes up like pretty soon in the book. But when I was first reading it, I remembered that and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
little Easter eggs. And so at one point she's talking to Azah when she's making her lady in waiting, and she's like, I could show you how to wear your hair, and I could show you some of the fashions we have back home. Then it says she licked her lips. Some of our fashions would look good on you. It's like, oh no. Poor Azah.
Oh my God. Okay. So what chapter did we get to? 12?
12. We finished 12.
Okay. Um, let's see. The last thing, I don't know if you mentioned this, but as soon as the king goes down, Ivy starts hitting on Prince Ajori.
Yes.
And I wrote, I'm gagging. Like, this is so gross. She just
It's
got
super
married
gross.
yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like, what does Oscar like about her? Like he has his wedding song about her, and I was just looking at it, and it's something about like she has rage and passion. Let's see. It's like a lot of vague things where it's like, oh, that sounds so nice, but it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like she has thunder and joy or something like that. Oh, I found it. She makes me laugh and cry. I reflect her glow and believe that I am glowing too. To please her for a minute pleases me a week. She has thunder and lightning, rage and joy. She breathes in the high notes and exhales the low. She wakes me up and makes me sing. Where it's like, what is Ivy even like? I think none of this makes sense.
It feels like they both love each other because of how the other, of what they get from the other one. And maybe that's
I
how
think
every
you're kind of right.
relationship is. I don't know. But it kind of just feels like they're both like kind of self-centered.
What's weird though is that because I think you're kind of right, but what's weird though is that the relationship is still kind of viewed in like a positive light to where it's like I kind of feel like in most fairy tales, you know, it wouldn't like if you're trying to tell a story where it's like looks don't matter
Yeah.
and like don't be selfish. It's like I feel like their relationship shouldn't be so good,
Yeah.
but it seems totally fine. So it's kind of strange.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I feel like, and maybe that's part of the rub with the book is that you kind of have this conflicting messaging.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, maybe you're right.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't get a lot from Oscar. I mean, not like at the end of the book I'd want their marriage to fall apart. But like maybe they could have a reckoning or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's kind of like they never get their comeuppance. It's like, spoiler alert, they retire and then they go off and be rich somewhere else.
Yeah. They get out of working.
Yeah, they get to not work anymore. Wow.
Bummer.
Bummer. Yeah. And it's like, it's weird because it's like she does not seem like she's that into Oscar if she's already like flirting with the prince on day one
Yeah.
of the coma.
Yeah, and she really only cares about what Oscar thinks of her. She's already looking for her number two. Yeah,
Uh,
I think that is kind of a strange part.
it's weird. All right, you ready for the next part?
Yeah.
Or did you have more
Yes.
on this?
No, I was trying to think if I did, but I don't think I do. Okay. All right. So chapter 13 to, I forget if I went to 18 or 19, but one of those.
Okay.
Okay. So Azaz's day just keeps getting worse. She has agreed to a loose for Ivy, but not just for one night, for all the nights. And that's pretty bad. Then, to make it worse, she has to tell Ajori that she isn't actually a lady. So he finds out that she lied to him. Although I'm kind of like, did she actually lie? But we can talk about that. But he's upset nonetheless. Azaz discovers this magical mirror in Ivy's bedroom that makes Azaz's reflection more beautiful than she could imagine. She wants to look into it more and figure out what's happening, but she has to help Ivy get ready for the healing sing. Azaz looses a song for Ivy that Ivy wrote, and she sounds beautiful, but the song is all about how she wants to rule a Yortha with an iron fist and make a Yortha into Kyria 2.0. So the people aren't super happy about her. Azaz's opinion of Ivy keeps getting worse as Ivy really only cares about clothes and about whether the king likes her. And she dissolved the king's council. And Ivy started eyeing Ajori as her second husband should things not go well with Oscaro. Meanwhile, Azaz and Ajori spend more time together, both as co-consultants to Ivy and also as friends. They say lots of sweet things to each other, and the chapter ends with Ajori saying, well, at least the queen has a beautiful voice.
Yes.
Dagger to the heart for Azaz.
Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, so it's like that
Mm.
song about how it's just everything she's wearing and stuff. I'm like, again, Olga or Olive.
It really kind of is. Yeah, you're kind of exactly right, actually.
Oh my God.
Interesting. Or is that just like Gail's making a self-centered character, and in these worlds, that's kind of what it is. Just focused on looks, focused on dresses, on what people think about you.
Yeah, and I mean, Evie's fashion comes into play later on when she's helping Azag get like a new wardrobe. And then you see, like, okay, like, yeah, she's a little shallow and stuff, but it's like she is like really good at fashion and like knowing how to get things that like look nice together. And she was really generous in helping like Azag get glammed up. And I thought that was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. Um, and also from her hometown, they have balls instead of sings. So like
Yeah.
she just really isn't used to any of this. And so like if she were in her own, town,
Yeah.
she
Maybe
might actually be super awesome. I don't know.
I don't think she would go to super awesome, but maybe she could be like a little more tolerable.
Yeah, I think she'd be tolerable. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
I wrote Azah feels like she's 45 because like just listening to all this, how she's like, oh, I don't know, Queen Ivy. I don't know if you should sing about like your dresses in this. Maybe you should sing about this. It's like she's very like, as you said, mature and like motherly, I feel like.
Yeah, she does. She just kind of is like, I don't know, says yes to what Ivy Well, I don't know. Yeah, she's just like very docile lady in waiting.
Hmm.
Yeah, not a lot of spunk. Just kind of like this is my job. I gotta do it, which kind of makes sense with her innkeeper background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like Gail did a good job painting Azal into a corner with having to allude for Ivy. Although actually no, I don't really think so. She should have just told Ajori. Like that was a big hole. Or like this seems so avoidable.
It does. I think what makes it seem a little believable is that Azah is just has such painfully low self-esteem. I don't think she could possibly imagine him understanding or helping her.
Yeah. Hmm.
But it does seem like weird that she couldn't be like, listen, I'm in this like really weird position and I don't want to do it, but I need to get out and I don't know what to do. And like my family's in trouble. And I feel like they had enough rapport at that point where he would try to help her out.
Right? I kind of think so. But you know what? On the other hand, it's like Azal really doesn't have a lot of life experience. She's only ever lived in the inn.
But she acts like she's
Only ever
45.
she does.
It's like she's both like very mature and matronly while also being like ignorant, ragamuffin.
Yeah. I think she knows how to please people, like how to serve. She knows how to
Yeah.
serve really well,
Yeah.
but she doesn't have a lot of like strategy,
That's a good point.
really, or like cleverness because yeah, she's really only ever seen the inn. So she's either been with her family that like loves her and would do anything for her, or people who like hate her.
Yeah.
And so I think like, Ivy set her up like this and she's like, "Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Got to do it."
Yeah. I I underlined this part. So this is when Ajori finds out that Azah is not a lady in waiting, or she's not a lady, and that she's poor. And he said, um, he's like, you lied. And then she's like, well, I just kind of fell into it. And he says, it doesn't matter. He says, my uncle just married a commoner. I don't mind that you're one too. And I was like, ew.
I know this is the part where it's like, what the heck?
Like, what's wrong with you? I was like, you kind of suck too.
I know. Is everyone just concerned with like appearances?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that part I was like, I feel like he could have been a little bit more empathetic of like, oh yeah, I could see how you'd feel uncomfortable being in the palace, just thrown into all of this.
Yeah.
And like why you wouldn't want to say that you're not a lady in front of everybody. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, Ajori minus 10 points.
He's losing some points. So
Yeah.
we saw we saw Ivy's song and it was all about making Kyria 2.0 and everyone loved Azaz's song. But what did you think about it?
Let me
It's on
go
page
back. Wasn't it about like
99.
how thank you. Well, we have different books now.
Oh,
Um, isn't it about like how everyone at the inn would be so sad about Ascaro?
like a little bit.
What was it about?
My father
Let me
wakes
find
the
it.
cook who cannot cook today. Cream curdles, milk sours, eggs break, onions rot. My father and mother put down their forks. I,
I I mean, I kind of get what you're saying, but it's like without Oscaro, the whole world is dim.
that second part was good. But overall, I was like, I don't know that this is a really great song either. I don't know how much Azah could have helped Ivy, is I guess what I'm saying.
You know, fair point. Everyone seems to love it though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with um Ivy's song too. I remember reading it when I was younger and being like, this, I mean, some of it doesn't sound too bad. Like her dress trails behind her, which stands for her grief, which drags wherever she goes. I'm like,
Yeah.
Kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like compared to Azaz, she's talking about eggs breaking and milk curdling. They're kind of like, okay, like she's talking a little bit about her dress, like
Yeah.
whatever. Her
Yeah.
plan for world domination was
It was a little much for song one. I'd save that for later.
yeah, yeah, she should have saved that for later.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't think the dress part was too bad. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, when you're reading these songs, do you come up with any tunes?
It's really hard because I don't know how they flow as songs. Whenever I see songs like this in books, I'm always like da 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 da. It's something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't come up with a tune either.
No.
There's just a lot of words.
Yeah. I just kind of skim it usually. Yeah, because
Okay,
Asa
so
says the
mhm.
song, the words are what a child might write. And I was like, it's Olive.
But it's all spelled correctly now.
Yeah. And then at the end, she held out her arms as though receiving a tribute. She turned from side to side. Oh, just kidding. Um, what I underlined is when they were talking about how everyone hated the song, and she said, they should have loved my song. They shouldn't have hated it. I said I miss Oscaro. And I was like, she's giving Kim Jong-un right now. I'm like, you don't like my song? Dead.
To the
To the
gallows.
gallows. To the dungeons with you.
Oh my gosh, that is kind of what happens later.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa.
Oh my gosh. We need at the end of the book, we need to do our better endings podcast segment
Oh my
where
God.
if this were actually Hattie, what would have happened at the end?
Oh, if this is actually Olive.
Oh, Olive. Yeah, this is
Oh my
actually
God.
Olive.
I love that.
How would have happened?
Yeah, she would have not done world domination and would have done like world cakes contest or something. Everyone comes.
Everybody bake me a cake.
Taxes canceled, but now I tax you in baked goods.
Have some like Marie Antoinette vibes.
Yes.
Let them make me a cake.
So I had another thing is I was kind of getting the feeling that Prince Ajori's like when he's kind of like interested in Azah, it's like learning about her life in the inn, and he's just very like curious about like, oh, were people mean to you? Like, what would they say? What were they like? Da, 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 da. And I said, it seems like he's interested in her because she's poor, like she's a zoo animal.
Mm.
Like,
I didn't get those vibes.
no,
No, I got him like just kind of curious about her life because I think he said like, "Oh, what was it like being in the inn?" She's like, "Oh, some people were nice, some people weren't." And then he was like, "Oh, what happened when people weren't nice?" Like, I don't know.
hmm, we'll see if I can get better evidence, but that was like a vibe that I
Yeah.
was getting from Prince Ajori, that he is just like
Yeah.
he's kind of interested in her because she's different because she's poor and he's never seen anyone poor before.
Mm. I could kind of see that because one of the lines says, "I never thought to have a friend like you,"
Uh,
the prince to Azah. It's like, what does that mean? Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of the part where it's like the relationship is a little strange, where they're not like having fun together.
no.
It's just like business conversation. But then all of a sudden in 5 chapters they kiss, and you're like, what?
It's kind of like they're coworkers, to your point, and they're both under like duress of trying to keep this kingdom together and like the stress of it all. Like maybe they, I don't know.
Yeah, their shared trauma. They're like, you're the only one who gets it.
Yeah.
We need to be together. Yeah, I do kind of get those vibes.
One question I
Yeah.
had is because the Duchess finally leaves. We forgot about her, but she's been there the whole time. She's finally leaving, and she tells Azah, you can keep Dame Ethel's clothes. And I was like, what has Dame Ethel been wearing all this time?
They've just been running around naked at the end.
She's just like in Azah's little peasantry clothes, working the inn. I'm like, what is she wearing?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Azal's been in those clothes for weeks.
Yes, it's been
It's
like
getting
4 or 5 weeks.
Oh my gosh. This poor girl. She needs help.
Yeah.
There is a line from Azah and Ajori talking together that I've thought of on different occasions and I kind of forget when. Honestly, I don't really know, but it just always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's when um they're talking and he's like, "Oh, we're friends." And she's like, "What? We're friends?" And then he says, "Princes are cut from good cloth for friendship. Silk is as strong as burlap, although no one thinks so."
Mm,
And then yeah, the conversation does kind of keep getting weird because they kind of keep going and then Azaz's like, "Oh, I'm different because I'm a commoner. You can put a lady before my name, but at the bottom, I'm burlap." Says you're not burlap. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird conversation, but that line stuck with me. That was my takeaway.
yeah. So did you like it or did you not?
I I did like it, but at this moment I don't particularly love it. But I guess when I was younger, I was like, "Oh, that's a nice line."
I think it's like a nice imagery, but it's like it sounds nice, but when you really think about it, you're kind of like, I don't know that I love this.
Yeah.
It feels like classist. I mean, it is classist.
Yeah. Hmm. But I mean, I guess he's saying it's like even though I'm royalty, I'm also, tough on the inside. Or, I don't know.
That is what he's saying, but it's like, are you? You didn't even know what a poor was until you met Azah. You didn't even think to have a friend as a commoner.
He's never stayed in the out of the palace. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Ajori's iffy in my book. I think later he gets better though.
I do think he gets a little better. Um, a line that I have, and I put like a little like mouth open face, like was from Ivy about Ajori. She says, "Those ears, those absurd ears. I wish I could find a fairy to shrink them." She laughed. But he has more hair than Oscaro, and my subjects know him, and he's a prince already. And she's like talking about like making him like the next king. And you're like, oh my God, this lady.
Yeah. Does Ivy have any redeeming qualities? We talked about fashion. I don't know.
So
I
I
don't think so.
I pulled out another line moving forward about Ivy, about like King's motivation for being with her.
Hmm.
So Ajori says, my uncle loves her liveliness. He said her moods made him feel young again. He said she made him think he could do anything. And I said, that sounds like a midlife crisis.
Yeah, that does.
Like, so I
Um,
don't know. I don't know that being moody is a redeeming quality.
no, it's that she's so vivacious, full of life. It could sound a little bit like a midlife crisis. I don't know.
I don't know.
It could also be nice. It doesn't have to be midlife crisis,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of evidence for it's a great relationship. So yeah, I don't really have a counter to that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Okay, so another thing that I was thinking of is that the magic mirror is basically just an Instagram filter. And it just gave Azaf Instagram face. And she was like, oh my God, I love it.
It's like super Instagram filter though.
Yes.
It totally changes your face.
So my question for you, my question for you is, would you want the beauty spells if you were
Oh,
Azah or if you were yourself?
if I were myself, no. And if I were Azah at the end of the book, also no. But I could see why Azah, at current place in the book, would be willing to try a few beauty spells.
I think what I would say, and maybe this is provocative, but being attractive makes your life a lot easier in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
So,
doesn't hurt.
no, there's like a lot of studies that show you get paid more money. People find you more likable. They find you more agreeable. They find you smarter. Like everything that you can think of, you just go up, 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 up.
Yeah.
So it's like if there were no cons to it, you could just take this potion and be beautiful. Like, why wouldn't you?
Mm. Hmm. I don't know. I think it goes to like, that's not the real me
Yeah.
kind of thing,
Hmm.
where it's like, you need to be like Azah at the end of the book, where it's like, I like me for how I look now,
Yeah.
don't need anything extra.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? If there are no cons, would you take it?
Yeah, I think I would. I think if someone offered me an easier, better, simpler life and there was no cost to it, I'm having a hard time finding a reason to say no.
Yeah.
Just like if someone said, do you want $10 billion and you never have to work again? And I know people are like, oh, but then like you get like sad because you don't have purpose in life. I'll be like, you know what? I'll get to that problem when I get there. I think I can. I think maybe that's my own hubris. I feel like I could use the $10 million and figure out a way to still have purpose in life.
Right. Hmm. Interesting. 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 I don't know. I guess part of it with the looks, though, too, it's like I don't want to be so concerned about looks. And so maybe I would feel like by saying yes to the potion, then it's like also saying yes to being really or to being like focused on how I look,
Mhm.
which isn't a bad thing.
You see, to me, I
It's
think it'd
not
be
bad
the
to care about how you look.
to me, I think it would be the opposite. I feel like you'd be like, I'm super hot now. I took this magic potion. I'm as hot as I can be. I'm the hottest now. I don't even have to worry about it.
I guess it's true. I don't know.
You'd still say
I don't
no.
know. I don't think I'd do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, need to think about it. Yeah. Sam had he read a book at one point when back in his podcasting days, and I never read it, but at one point we were talking about it, and it was about like I think it's like superhumanism, maybe that's what it's called.
Hmm.
But the one of the first questions in the book was like, okay, if you had the chance to get this eye surgery that gave you vision that was 20 times better than the average or than like normal 20/20 vision, and there was no drawbacks to getting the surgery, it's all paid for,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be totally fine,
Yeah.
would you do it? Transhumanism, maybe that's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, I would. Why wouldn't I want to see better? I see really bad now. I have to wear contacts and glasses.
But I guess like I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it gets iffy. It's like, sh I don't know. Should we be able to change our bodies to beyond like human capacity? I think some of the things where it gets kind of strange is like, do you know, have you heard about like the Neuralink thing?
That where they put like the chip, they make your brain a supercomputer.
Yeah, something like that, where it's like, okay, well, now what if it went to that level where it's like now you have all of Google like in your mind all the time? I don't know, which isn't what Neuralink is, I don't think. But like if one day it were,
The only thing that would make me
I feel
say
like
no is because I know that companies would start putting ads in my brain.
it'd be awful. You're exactly right.
Yeah. But Andrew and I have talked about this because imagine a world where you could put like a Google or a ChatGPT or whatever it is, that artificial AI on top of your brain. So you already have your brain, which is the most powerful computer, and then you have something on top of it to enhance it. If only two or three people in the world have it, then you are free to choose. Once you get to a certain threshold of people who have it, in order to survive in that environment, you too have to do it. Otherwise,
Right.
you're going to be the Amish and everyone else is in cars and you're trying to do things by hand.
Yeah. I mean, the Amish seem to be happy.
They do.
But yeah,
They
no, you're
do.
right.
They do. But I'm just saying, like, you would basically, it would be that stark of a difference where it's like you couldn't just navigate like the regular world in air quotes and be totally fine. You would have to go off the grid, go do this thing, go live with people who think just like you because the competition would be too hard.
Right. Now you're suddenly at a huge disadvantage for just being normal person.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It gets weird. I haven't thought about it a ton, but I think that, but I feel like the magic beauty potion kind of falls into that realm
Yeah.
to where I'm like, I don't know.
Like what if you could get like holograms that are so good they're like a skin on top of your body and you could get it so that you could look like whatever you wanted or something, you know?
Ooh, sounds dangerous.
Yeah, but that would be like maybe the best I could come up with like a beauty potion type of thing where you like click a button and now
Yeah.
you look like totally different.
I don't know, but then I feel like it's not real, you know?
Well, so
And I guess it's like I like the real thing.
so that's interesting. So it's like what's considered beautiful changes over time. And something that I think makes someone beautiful or not beautiful is if they're interesting to look at. And so, like,
Mm-hmm.
when Instagram face first started becoming popular, people were very interesting to look at because not a lot of people had it. But then too many people had Instagram face. And now you're like, you have Instagram face. Not into it. Now you want to see someone who's a little bit more natural. You're like, oh, they really look like
Mm-hmm.
that. That's interesting. And then once everyone goes back that way, then it will just keep oscillating between. So I guess with beauty versus like enhancing your brain capacity, it is different.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe is it the same argument either way for why you should or shouldn't, or why you would or wouldn't say yes to the thing?
I think,
Both could give you an advantage.
yeah, I feel like if it's the brain thing and everyone's doing it, then you have to do it. Otherwise, you get lost. If it's the beauty thing, maybe you could do it in varying degrees. Like there's a certain level of like social acceptability. You have to look a certain way to be presentable, which is how it is today. You can't just be, people will call it unhygienic if you don't comb your hair or, put on fresh clothes or
Right.
something. And if you don't
Yeah.
follow those norms, then you are ostracized.
Yeah. To your point, it's like, is what we're doing now really any different? Like using mascara, that's a technology. Is that any different?
Right.
Or like using glasses to
Yeah.
make your eyesight better than it is? Is it different? Maybe it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
To me, I'm a little bit more loose with it. I'm kind of like, you know what, if it makes my life easier and there's no cons to it, or very minimal cons, or the benefits outweigh the cons, then why not?
Yeah.
So,
Interesting things to think about.
another question I had, so with the magic mirror, Lucinda gives it out as a wedding gift.
Hmm.
How many people have these mirrors?
I thought there's just one mirror.
So there's the
That
book.
might come up later.
In the book, in the library, it's the librarian or whatever says, magic mirror, unique, little known about, commanded by Maverick Fairy Lucinda and often dispensed by her as a wedding gift.
Yeah. But it's a singular mirror.
So does she wait for Evie to die and then she gives it to someone else?
I think so. And I think more of this comes up later too.
Hmm. Okay, I have just a few more. I'm almost done.
Oh yeah.
This did make me laugh. Ivy is crying on the king's chest while he's in his coma. And she was talking about the council session. And she said all they talked about were droughts and trade and ogres. It was too dull to endure. They said the same things over and over. She rested her forehead on the king's chest. So I dissolved the council. Did I tell you about the?
I don't.
Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it really makes you wonder what did Oscar like about Ivy?
Oh my God. I know. Did I tell you about the King Nero thing? When the first day King Nero was crowned emperor, he said,
No, I don't know.
okay, so the first day he was crowned emperor, he was like 16, and everyone's like, taxes, taxes, taxes. And he's like, you know what? No more taxes. Canceled. We're done with that. People complain about it. We're not doing it anymore. And then all the nobles were like, you literally can't run your country that way. That's how you make money. And then he was like, oh, this is giving that to me.
uh, yeah. Yeah, Oscar really did not prepare Ivy for any sort of success here.
No. Oh,
She's got no idea.
all right. Last thing I had was a little bit of foreshadowing is a
Oh,
Jory saying, um, ogres are the ultimate deceivers.
ooh.
And that's why Azah is so good at mimicking.
Because she's secretly ogre.
Yeah. Did you always know that?
I don't know. Can't spoil it for our
I
listeners.
already did. All right.
Okay, I
That's all
want
I
to
had.
know from you.
Oh,
Well, I have some questions for
oh,
you.
okay.
What, how much do you think you remember of the next part of the book?
50%.
Do you want to make predictions on what you think happens?
Yeah. So if I remember what happens is they mess up. Azah gets her clothes and she starts looking better. And they're like, okay, you're not so ugly. And then she's kind of like getting things down. And then her and Evie or is it Evie or Ivy?
I've been saying Ivy,
It's Ivy, but I keep
but
calling her Evie.
sometimes,
Um,
yeah, me too.
Ivy and her are losing, but then Ivy like coughs or something and they get found out.
Mm.
So then
Mhm.
Azah flees and she gets her way into Gnome Caverns.
Mm.
Oh, but she takes the potion too. I think like in her maybe the day before she gets found out for the losing, she takes the potion and she becomes like beautiful, like even more beautiful than Ivy. And Ivy's like, I'm done with you. And then Azah has to flee and she runs away. And then she finds her way in Gnome Caverns. And then she's there for a long time. And then she eats an apple and it gets lodged in her throat. And then Prince Ajori comes and he gives her the Heimlich and the apple comes
How
out.
romantic.
Yeah, and the apple comes out And then the magic wears off. And then he's like, I liked you how you were originally. And she's like, oh, that's great. And then they become the king and queen, and Oscaro and Ivy go retire.
Wow. Well, I won't tell you how much of it you got. Just have to keep reading.
Okay,
But I like your
that
summary.
wasn't a good prediction. That was just me talking a lot. But did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, it did. It did. Because for Ella, I thought I remember what was going to happen, but I totally didn't. And for here, I think I remembered more, but there's a few things that I had totally forgotten about. And I was like, oh, whoa, that's
How
cool.
much did I remember?
You really remembered most of it.
Okay.
There's one big thing you're missing, though.
I think it's a gnome cavern.
Could be.
I think something happens. Oh, is it because she's a princess of the gnomes? Because she's half gnome and half
I don't
ogre.
know. Whoa. I won't tell
All
you.
right. All right.
Keep the intrigue.
Ooh, okay. Even though I just spoiled the whole book.
It's okay. This is 25 plus years old.
That's true. If you haven't read the book by now, honestly, it's about the journey. It's not about the destination. All right. Any closing
I'll go
thoughts?
anywhere Gail takes us. Uh, I'll go anywhere Gail takes
Uh,
us.
even to gnome caverns. I don't know. I don't know. After reading this one, I'm like, I really
You don't want to go
loved
on a
I really loved Ella Enchanted. I think we would have
so
to do
good.
the Bamar sisters and see how that one goes.
Are you saying we want to do two princesses of
I
Baymar?
think we might have to
Oh, yes.
just to see, and then I can give my final final opinion.
Get our sampling.
Yeah, because this is cruising into like a 2.8 for me.
What?
Like a
No
3.
way. A three? Just just because of the all the appearance things?
I think everything we're talking about, it just does not feel as tight as Ella was. The prose doesn't feel as good. It feels a little bit sloppier, I guess. It doesn't feel as like
Not three level
believable.
sloppy. I don't know. Solid four at least.
Ah!
It's gotta be.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it
That's the
ends. We'll
minimum.
see how it ends.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Any closing thoughts?
Jury's still out. Nope.
All right.
That's it for me. Do
Well,
you want to do our closeout?
oh, yeah.
Take us away.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bookalicious. If you made it to this point, that means you really like the pod. Please give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple.
And yeah, let us know what you think of our podcast and also of the books.
Ooh,
Do
yeah.
you think, yeah, how does this compare to Ella? Better, worse?
Yep.
Is Gail still your favorite?
Yep.
Let us know. We want to hear.
Am I being too critical? Chrissy, not critical enough. We don't know.
Would you take a magic potion?
Okay.
We need to know.
I feel like 100% of people, you're the only person who would not take the magic potion if there was no side effects. Oh.
I'll do a survey.
Okay.
I'll see what the people
All
think.
right. We'll do a poll. We'll see what happens.
Well, I was gonna say I'd ask people IRL.
Okay.
Trying to be trendy.
I'm asking this question totally out of the blue. It has nothing to do with you, but if you could, would you take a magic potion so you weren't ugly?
No side effects.
No side effects. All right. Well, love you, girl.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.